be much better than looks.
Oh, he was nice, but his voice was just quiet.
I wanted to be like, good thing you're a tech teacher. Because it's highly motivating.
There's two in here. Did you bring anything?
Yeah, it's funny. I still like to take notes.
It's killing me.
I just need the better angle.
I keep pulling out my notes on my phone and putting in things.
Yeah, I put notes on. I put some notes on here, but I still like to just.
You know, I've started putting everything in Google Docs and saving them in folders, so when I can take the notes, then I have them, because I take the notes and then I'm like, I don't know where I wrote that.
That's so true. Yep. Yep.
I've gone to a lot of conferences this summer, so a lot of classes and stuff, so I just feel like, is that yours? Sorry. I did 2 days with Amplify around Dibbles and Dibbles monitoring and looking at that data, which was really cool. Really cool. So I did it, and one of the third grade teachers did it, so hopefully we can bring some of that back. They're implementing a new growth projection thing within Dibbles, and to show whether a kid had high growth, low growth, like similar to like what the state assessments do. So it'd be really cool. Yeah. So that I'm pretty excited about. So, and then I did like 7 classes at summer.
Received any data back yet?
Dibbles.
Any data from?
I heard October or November, because they have to norm it.
Oh gosh.
Because it's the first year. Yep. So.
It's time. Yeah, we're going to power up the 2:45. Hello, welcome. Hi.
Virtual access.
And you're on that laptop?
I do.
See, I learned about flickers this morning, and I didn't know about that. Oh, thanks.
Okay, so we're going to start off with a dance party. So go ahead and stand up and push your chairs, please. Not me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. Why do we dance? That's the kind of learn.
You'll actually learn better if you dance.
I love how you guys just took this as good. We're good now. All right. In all seriousness, no, there's not going to be anything serious. But what we'd like to do is have you come to the URL that you see up on the screen, go.gl/capital V 84, capital F for capital X, lowercase q. And then we'll get ready to go. The session that we're in is called Collecting Data from All Devices. Welcome. We are going to try and share with you many ways to have some fun with your students, collect some data, and just have a little bit of techno-lust. It's a lot of fun, but that's kind of the idea and the goal. So if you're here, and that's what you think you're here for, you're in the right place. If not, stay here. It's going to be great. So my name's Chris. Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Everybody, Nate. Nate. All right, and so there you go. So ready, set, go, Nate. All right, so real quick, just a heads up. Our slideshow is not really robust. It's more just kind of signpost for us to keep track of things. It's our agenda. But if you want, I mean, you can make a copy of it. And if you make a copy of this, down on the bottom of your slideshow, you have a place where you can add your own notes to come back to later. The speaker notes of the slides, you can use those as a way to capture your notes, maybe for some ideas you have for some of the tools we'll be showing you today. If you are signed into your Drive and you click File, Make a Copy, you have that forever. But other than that, the slideshow is really just going to be kind of a way for us to move through the presentation, because most of it's going to be kind of demonstration.
So here's another thought for when you're sharing materials. Like Nate said, you can go file, make a copy, and you have this presentation. There's not a whole lot there. But there's that short link. And so when you make a copy, that's your copy. You can edit it, write on it, annotate it, whatever. But you also always can come back to our version of the slideshow, because hopefully over time we'll be updating and changing it. So that way you always have our version as well as yours. Okay, so what we want to do first is take a few minutes to play with some Google Forms. So there are a laundry list of tools that we want to get through. Google Forms seems like the most obvious for exit tickets, right? So how many people in the room, just real quick so we can kind of get an idea, how many of you teach elementary school? Middle school? High school? Teachers. I teach teachers, I teach adults. I'm a librarian. Okay, so we have a really nice mess of people, that's great. We try to make sections that apply across all content and all grade levels, and also all skill levels. And so we're just going to go ahead and get started, but we're going to start off with this form. So the second slide has a link to the form. It's glo.gl/ and then capital M, PMP, in capital B. So if you'll go there real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through that form with you. So we're just going to show you a couple things. How many of you feel like you're pretty familiar with forms? Like, I can make a form. Okay. How many of you can tell me about the different question types in a form? How many of you have your students make forms? Ah, right. So I do that as an assessment, where I'll teach whatever content, and the assessment is the students make their own assessment, and then you get the answer. It's a really neat way to see what they know. Right? Okay, so this particular form, when you get there, one strange thing is going to happen. How many of you are math teachers? Math teachers, okay. Do you already know about the GMath extension? Yeah. Okay, so cool. What we've done here, I say we. When I say we, I mean Nate. What Nate has done here is he's created a situation, and we'll show you how we did some of these things later. But he's created a situation where what happens here is the GMath extension is popping up right next to that form. Okay. And that will allow students to answer with some really complicated and tricky math questions and answers. They can answer with charts and graphs and all sorts of great things. We'll get to it. For right now, we password protected our form. How many people know how to password protect your form? Okay, it's a thing. Don't worry. It's not really exactly password protected. Here's what we did. We made a question. It was called password. And what we did was this thing called, data validation. And so in order to move on to the next page, because our form is made of pages, not just a long laundry list of questions, what is supposed to happen is we made this data validation question, and it's called password, and the password is above the door. So, but it's all lowercase, just saying. So all it is you answer this question, and if you put in the data that we picked, which is the word exit, lowercase, then it'll work. Now, if you have kids who are pretty with it and they know how to look at the source or the code or the HTML of the form, they can find the password buried in there. So it's not like a foolproof thing. It's not really secure. It's just an email trick. All right, it's fun, but it's not really and truly password protected. So that was the first question. And the next question is about using images and drawings. How many of you have used images as part of your forms? Okay, cool. So when you make a form and you make a question, one of the things you can do is choose to use an image. Now, when you use an image, you can only use one, first of all. And second of all, you can only use it as part of the question, right? There's no way for students to answer with an image or a picture. So how the heck do you suppose we got those two pictures in there?
Hey Chris, you're one spot ahead.
I am?
Yeah. You can have a student answer with a picture.
Excuse me.
You can have a student answer with a picture.
Yeah, you sure can. But not in the way that I can create a question and have pictures as the answer choices.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? Sorry, I skipped ahead. I'm a little tired. So the first question on that page, let me just back up.
Yeah.
Is giving you some directions. I'm going to ask you to make a new tab. So please go ahead and make yourself a new tab. You can use Control-T, or you can put a little space up there. Did you hear that, Nate? I did a keyboard shortcut.
I heard that.
It's the only one I know. Well, it's not the only one I know. You want to see a really cool keyboard shortcut? Have you ever done Command-Shift-Tab or Control-Shift-Tab depending on your computer? You know what that does?
No.
Try it.
Control.
Command-Shift-T.
Command-Shift-T on a Mac.
Command Shift T.
For the win! No, you're not as impressed as I was. Okay, for me that was life-changing. You guys remember like accidentally exit tab off and it's gone? Yeah, I do that all the time. Command-Shift-T brings it back, and not just one, any number of them, right? I think you can go up to 10 at least.
No, you can
So that whole
go.
session?
You can go back for as long as you've had that session running.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the idea. I am all about getting student work in front of the real world, in front of an audience. Having audience and purpose is what I talk about every day, all day long. Now, drawings are a great way to do that. I think drawings are probably one of the most underutilized Google tools there are. How many of you use drawings? How many of your students use drawings? Nice. Okay, so what Nate's doing is he is answering the question using a picture, right? He's making a drawing that shows his understanding of the water cycle. Now, he can do that by literally drawing everything and using the tools in the drawing. He can do that with shapes and lines and squiggles and scribbles and all that fun stuff. You also, in a drawing, can insert images, right? So you can go find images, like he could find that cloud as an actual image, and he could add that to his drawing, and he could put little arrows in. He can do all these great things to answer the question about what does he understand about the water cycle. He can take it a couple steps even further. How many of you have done any kind of screen capture or screen casting? So we can talk about this a little bit, but the idea is that you can take a picture of anything on your computer screen. You also can take a video of anything on your computer screen. And that video can contain your voice, right? So you can screencast. So let's say Nate made the drawing, and you don't have to do this, dude, but he can make the drawing and then he can screencast it. So he can record his voice explaining what he knows about the water cycle and using that drawing. And then he could post the link to that creation as the answer in the form. Because everything you make in Google, whether it's a drawing or a slideshow or a form or whatever it is really a website. It's got a URL address at the top. So whatever Nate makes, he can then grab that URL address and submit that address as his answer. When you use a tool like Snagit, which allows you to screencast, you can literally make a video of what's on your screen with your voice, so the kid is now explaining what they know about the water cycle. It's not just their drawing. And that creation that you make, that is the drawing with the video of your voice and all that stuff, is immediately dropped into your drive. It has a link that you can share on my form. And then when I look at my form responses, I just click the link for each kid, and I listen to them tell me about what they know about the water cycle.
So real quick, what I'm going to just show you is, as he was describing that, I just did a quick screencast. And so you'll hear some of the audio of Chris talking here.
Ignore that part.
But after I finished this is the Chrome extension and app called TechSmith Snagit. But I have this option here to get a Google Drive link to this video that I just created. So Chris was saying, as that video completes, it saves that video in your drive, which means it has a URL.
Can I just pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Real quick. You heard Nate mention that he has the app and the extension. So if you go into the Chrome Web Store, have you guys been in the Chrome Web Store? Okay. So in the Chrome Web Store, if you search for TechSmith, you will get the Snagit app and extension. We recommend that you install them both.
You have to have both of them for it.
Yeah, we give both the app and the extension. And I'm not sure if this is exactly correct, but the way I explain it to people is the extension, which is the little button up at the top, is what takes the photo or the video. The app is what allows you to mark it up and edit it and all those kinds of things.
Snagit and
Okay, so if you will go onto the Chrome Web Store and you will search for TechSmith. And when you get TechSmith, then you'll see that there's an app and an extension for Snagit. And that's one tool, one of a handful of tools, that allows you to create a screencast. Okay? So what Nate did was he had his drawing up, and he was getting basically, he recorded the video of the screen, and it has his audio of his voice. So we'll show you that. But when you do install the Snagit app and extension, you are instantly creating a folder inside your Google Drive that's called TechSmith. And so like Nate was showing you, when he made that thing, it immediately already had a link into Google Drive. It's already there. But by him choosing those three little dots and then clicking Google Drive link, it's going to paste that link into his clipboard. So now he can go, paste it wherever he needs to.
So it says a URL has been copied to the clip